We have Tolu Owate, who is a seasoned sport administrator with us, that will be giving out his own personal opinion from an expert point of view. It's good to have you on the show, Tolu.
Thank you so much, Mudashiru, for having me. It's a pleasure talking to you again. As usual, we've had our series of banters on sports, and you dragging me to TV now to talk. Let's see how it goes. Thank you for having me today.
Yes, I'm sure they were excited and pleasant to listen to you. The World Cup is in few days' times. 5 African country, non-African country except Nigeria has got into the quarter-final. We just saw that clears between Germany and Zambia. What do you think we should be expecting? Let's start from home, from the Super Falcons.
Yeah, sorry to just chip in. We have 4 African countries.
Okay, 4. Thank you very much. That's why you're called
Yes,
on the
we
show.
have four African countries. We have Nigeria, we have Zambia, we have South Africa, and we have Morocco. This is the first time an Arab nation is going to be qualifying for the World Cup. So Morocco is a debutant, right? We will go to their group. If you do not follow female football, you are missing a lot. It's a lot different from the male football. Now, if you really want to enjoy what sports is like, follow the female football. You see a lot of sportsmanship. You see a lot of fairness. You're going to enjoy football at its best. And coupled with the fact that you're watching beautiful ladies play the beautiful game of football. The World Cup is starting on July 20th. It's going to run for 1 month, July 20th to August 30th. The buzz is not as much as it is expected to be compared to the male version of the World Cup. But for me, it's as beautiful, even possibly better than the men World Cup. But that's a subject for another day. Now we have 4 African countries: Nigeria, Zambia, South Africa, and Morocco. Now let's come home. Nigeria is in Group B. And in Group B, we have Canada, Nigeria, Republic of Ireland, and one of the host nations, Australia. That is the group of death. The group of death in the sense that, let's start from the Australians. They will be attempting to move beyond the quarter-final stage for the first time.
Okay.
But the Australians have got a very, very strong team coming into this competition. And let's not forget, in sports, there is something we call the home advantage, the 12th player on the field. The Aussies are going to be coming with the 12th player. Australia is going to be a real hard nut to crack. Now, in that group, we have 3-time Olympic champions, Canada. Canada is currently ranked number 7 in the world right now in female soccer. They've probably won almost everything except the World Cup. And they are going into this competition with a very, very fantastic striker, a veteran. She's going to be in her 6th World Cup. That's Christine Sinclair.
Okay.
Christine Sinclair is going to be 40 years old. That looks old. But this is an example of the older the wine, the sweeter. So, Canada is coming with a very, very strong team. But at the moment, they have something that might be a disadvantage for them, which is more or less administrative.
Okay.
Sometime last year, there was a bickering between the players and the coaches and the FA considering pay. So it destabilized them in the boardroom, not on the field of play. Trust me, those girls are wonderful. So watch out for Christine Sinclair. She's the captain for Canada. She's going to be in her 6th World Cup, and she's going to be 40 years old this year. Now, to my favorite and my darling Super Falcons. Obviously, the best team Africa has produced when it comes to female soccer. Nigeria has been in all the tournaments of the female World Cup since its inception. Same with Canada. Canada has been in all the tournaments since its inception. Now, Canada has Christine Sinclair. Nigeria has Onomebe. Onomebe is our captain. Onomebe is going to be 40 years old. Sweet, beautiful, athletic, strong 40 years old lady. And she's going to be captaining the Falcons. The Falcons are currently ranked around 40th in the world. I'm not too sure about that. A lot behind the Aussies and the Canadians. But you cannot take anything away from the most successful female team in Africa. If you have Asisat Oshola in your team, you can beat anybody.
But the World Cup stage too?
Yes, yes, you can beat anybody. I am not saying that they will beat everybody, but you can beat anybody. And forget about it. Asisat is the poster girl of the Falcons. But she's not the only star there, right? We've got stars everywhere. I just mentioned the captain, Onome, coming with loads of experience. She's going to be going to her 6th World Cup as well. So we have a game between a top striker and a top defender in our first game on July 20th. And as you can see, I'm donning my my Nigerian jersey.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. So
we're
much
ready for the
patriotic
show.
all the way there. So much
Yeah,
patriotic.
that is a group of death.
Okay. Now, before you go further, in that group, we have Northern Ireland, we have New Zealand there, Australia there. Okay, Australia.
No, we have Australia,
Australia.
we have Ireland.
Which teams do you think will be? Do you think the Super Falcons will qualify out of that group?
If we get a result in our first game against Canada, we will qualify. And when I say a result, if we get a draw or a win, it's a daunting one, but it's not impossible. The Canadians are fantastic, trust me, and I know what I'm saying. So it's unfortunate. It's not unfortunate, but we're going to be going the hard road. Hard road in the sense that our first 2 games are against the strongest 2 teams in that group. Our first game is against Canada, July 20th. Our next game after that is against the host nation, Australia, right? We need at least 3 points from those 2. At least, yes, I want us to get at least 3, possibly 4 points from those 2 games. If we can do that, then we will consolidate against Ireland. I'm not saying that there are minnows in football, but it's going to be easier for us to deal with Ireland and Canada and Australia.
Okay, rightly said. I'm sure a lot of our viewers are really having that and dotting their pages, to put one things together. But it seems Nigeria is our one of the brightest hope for Africa. Which other team come close? We saw that video earlier before I introduced you where we have Zambia defeating Germany. We have also a video that we'll probably be seeing right now of the group where they are placed.
Okay.
And which, apart from the Super Falcons, who do you think will be doing so well at this World Cup?
The African champions for sure, and the African champions, the Bayana, and those are beautiful girls. When I talk of beauty, beautiful on and off the field, those are beautiful girls, beautiful to watch, right? Bayana has come of age. And apart from the Black Queens of Ghana and the ladies from Equatorial Guinea, that's also another team that has given Nigeria a run for our money when it comes to female football in Africa. So Bayana will be in the same group with Sweden, Italy, and Argentina. That's also a tough group.
Okay.
Right? Sweden, I tip Sweden to scale out of that group. After Sweden, I'm going to go for Bayana. Italy and Argentina currently rank above the South Africans in the FIFA ranking. But again, FIFA ranking sometimes is a function of how many games you've played, not necessarily how good you are. The Italians are good. Just like their men, they play fantastic, robust defense.
I wish you can get the group right now. I'm sure in Group A, we saw some group earlier. Telling us about on this. Hope we can get the videos of a particular group that tells us where we have the Bayana. And do you think they will do so well apart from the Nigerians, apart from the Bayana? Morocco, any hope for the Moroccan teams?
Morocco. Now, in the last WAFCON, if I'm not mistaken, they gave us a bit of an upset. If you can remember the match between Morocco and Nigeria, when we were a player down, right?
Yes.
Nigeria went a player down, and Morocco could still not beat us in regulation time. Right? We went a player down for almost half, if not more, of that game, and Morocco could still not beat us in regulation time. To me, if you're going to the world stage and you don't take advantage of a numerical strength, that you have against another team, you have a lot of work to do. The Moroccans are debutants. The Atlas Lionesses, as they are called, they are debutants. This is their first time going to the Female World Cup. This is the first time any North American team will be qualifying for the Female World Cup. This is the first time, an Arabian team will be going to the Female World Cup. They will play. I think they've come to see. I don't think they will be able to conquer. And sorry about my bias. They are in a group that includes Germany, Colombia, and Korea Republic. Germany goes out of that group. For me, these are my opinion, and I will take Colombia second. Colombia or Korea Republic second, but Morocco, they should focus on winning a game for the first time in the tournament.
We still want to see whether we should be expecting more from Zambia when it comes to the World Cup properly. Tolu, are you optimistic about that win, and do you think the Zambians can do the same?
I'm so happy to know that there is a rise in Zambian female soccer. The Zambians are in Group C, and in Group C we have Spain, Costa Rica, Zambia, and Japan. Now, the reason for that friendly was for them to get used to how the Europeans play. Europeans, now I'm talking about Sweden and Italy. It's a tough group for the Zambians, and I must be sincere. Spain is not a pushover when it comes to female soccer. However, Spain have been having some administrative problems since 2022. Can you imagine that in a day, 15 players from the Spanish national team resigned from international soccer, from the Spanish female national team, the La Rojas? 15 players resigned in a day from international soccer. That was in September 2022, thereabout. So imagine somebody coming to tell you that 15 Falcons resigned from international in a day. So that's a big problem. But you don't trust the Europeans. They have a way of building up their teams. They push them in from the youth cadre into the senior national team. So this to me is one of the major problems they're having. If they've been able to overcome it, they're still going to be as strong as they've always been. Japan.
Okay, interesting. Let's come back to the Super Falcons and realize that quarterfinal is the only stage you've been at the World Cup. Do these teams look like, you mentioned Rashida Ajibade, Oshoala, Onome Ebi, the legs of them, the goalkeeper, many of them names that those are there. Do you think we can do beyond? But we also know that we also have an issue when Wadi Rajom, who is the coach of the Super Falcons, said many things about the NFF. But beyond that, do you think we can do exploit at this World Cup and go beyond the target, the issue of 1999?
Okay, so first and foremost, nobody should use NFF as an excuse. Okay. And the reason I'm saying this is that this is not the first time we are hearing that NFF did this, NFF did that. And I'm not trying to justify the position of the Federation. Neither am I trying to trivialize the people complaining. What I'm saying is, we've had this several times. To a certain extent, it feels like it's an end, and I'm not justifying it. So, let's leave NFF out of this. How ready are the girls? That team is super strong. From in all departments, the goalkeeping department, the goalkeeper is fantastic, the defense, the attack, and you have the greatest of all times when it comes to female soccer in Africa in that team. Asisat plays for Barcelona. She's not the only star there. She's probably the poster girl, but we have other fantastic stars there. The problem I have, my reservations, is that group is a group of death. We're playing with two other top nations, and everybody in that group ranks above Nigeria in FIFA ranking. Canada, and I'm going to repeat it, Canada are 3 times Olympic champions. They want to win the Female World Cup. They're desperate for it, and they've got a fantastic team, right? Australia is the host nation. The best they've done is a quarter-final stage, and which other time do they have to go better than this? Now, if Nigeria gets out of this group,
That should be
we
exciting.
should. It's not impossible. I believe we can do it. I just need to
Okay.
see what happens on July 20th.
Okay.
That game,
Yeah, Tolu,
that game is going to determine a lot.
okay, obviously that we'll be having more of you as the World Cup opens. Time is no longer our friend, and we'll be hoping to give you more expert opinion on all this. Thank you very much, Tolu Owate, for this.
Thank you for having me. Just before.